Today is the most auspicious day. So I will begin with the Sri Aurobindo's Gayatri Mantra. Om Tat Savitur Varam Rupam Jyotihi Parasya Dhimahi Yannaha Satyena Deepayet Yannaha Satyena Deepayet. So this mantra you all must be knowing, which says, let us meditate on the most auspicious form of Savitri, on the light of the Supreme, which shall illumine us with truth. So today, I invoke Mother and Sri Aurobindo's presence among us, that their light, their presence, their force, their consciousness may guide us and take us where we all want to go. And whether we want to go or not, that is our goal. The goal of all our lives, all the births that we've been taking, is to reach the consciousness of the divine, to become divine, and integral yoga to manifest the divine on earth. That is the ultimate goal of integral yoga. As you all are aware of Sri Aurobindo's yoga, you know that there are three important aspects, which are aspiration, rejection, and surrender. So today in my talk on spiritual practices in everyday life, I would discuss how every day we can focus on these three: aspiration, rejection, and surrender, because that is the way of moving forward in integral yoga. So let me give you an example. Spiritual practices, when you want to start, or if you have started, you want to continue, that means a very important thing, that you have decided to move on the spiritual path. Now, the example that I want to give you is that when can an aircraft move? It cannot move on our roads over here. A helipad, a place has to be made, a special road has to be made, the runway has to be made. Then only the aircraft can move. So I need not say over here that the basic preparation for integral yoga is to prepare our bodies for regular exercises and all that. I'm not going into detail. That is understood. Because, friends, we cannot do any spiritual practices unless and until we are physically fit. If we cannot sit well, if we do not have the energy, then we can't. So for that, physical fitness is necessary. And of course, breathing exercises. Now, for spiritual practices in daily life, there are certain things that are prerequisites for that. And the preparation has to be both inner and outer. There has to be certain changes in the attitude, in the approach towards life, as well as something that we have to do in the outer aspects. So, you know, we have our body, our mind, our life force through which we do activities. And then there is the inner mind, inner vital, inner physical. And then there is the inmost being, the psychic being. Now, today, I'm going to make it very simple by giving you the 5 S formula, the 5S. So these 5S, the number 1 is sincerity. I will elaborate on each and connect with the powers of the mother that we can develop in us. Second is silence. Third is stillness. Fourth is simplicity. And fifth is surrender. So I will focus on these 5 aspects that will help us in our everyday practice. Now, we have to make a very, very important decision in our life. And today, if we haven't made it already, is one of the best days, a most auspicious day, the Siddhi day. Now, Siddhi means ultimate perfection, when you have achieved something and that cannot be undone. So when you have achieved a Siddhi in any, whether it's spiritual life or outer, like when a doctor gets the MBBS degree, or any professional, chartered accountant gets his degree. So he has, that is his Siddhi, he has achieved it. It cannot be undone. You cannot again go back to where you were. So now today, Siddhi Divas, we can make a very good sankalpa that my life now onwards would be primarily focused on moving along the spiritual path to know, realize, and be the divine that I already am, but not in my outer life. So, Mother speaks of the ordinary life and the spiritual life. So, once you have decided that I'm no longer interested in the ordinary pursuits. Now, that does not mean that you have to leave your family or leave your job or leave your hobbies or leave, no, nothing. It's just an inner change, a very, very significant inner change that you can make to move only and only on the path shown by Mother and Sri Aurobindo. And that is the first requisite, sincerity. Among all the virtues, Mother has given sincerity on number 1. Without sincerity, you cannot do anything. In one of the quotations, she says, sincerity is the key to the divine doors. She also says that sincerity is the safeguard, the protection, and ultimately the transforming power. Imagine. You can take perhaps 1 week or 1 month only and only to think about sincerity. And that will really transform your life. So, basic requirement every day is to have this inner attitude that today, whatever I'm going to do, I want to remember the divine. Because I want to realize the divine. And as you all must be knowing that Sri Aurobindo has said in the Synthesis of Yoga, the opening line, that all life is yoga and yoga is nothing but practical psychology. So, all you have to do is to remember the divine in whatever you do. Another thing, a very good advice given by the mother is that do not do anything that does not conform with this aspiration of yours. You have made a decision, you have focused on it, then do all that supports this aspiration. Don't do anything that goes in the opposite direction. Now, in order to remain on the path, you need to slow down a little bit. And for that, every day you have to practice silence. It does not take a long time, not necessarily. You can begin by 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or maximum 5 minutes. Nowadays, the way we are engaged with our devices, within 5 minutes, people start thinking, oh, haven't I missed any message? Different notifications and different calls and different work. So silence is necessary. Now, to support this silence, you need stillness. Stillness is complete immobility. When I was reading the mother's writings on integral health, she mentions that practicing stillness, practicing immobility gives you tremendous power to heal yourself. So now you'll ask me that, yes, I am being silent, I am being still. What do I do? Is there a mantra jap to be done? Well, yes, you can do that. But Mother says the first requisite is to invoke peace. You see, we do chant Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. But over here, what I'm focusing on is that to invoke peace, to open your complete consciousness to peace so that it settles down in your mind, your heart, your vital, your body. Anything that is done continuously for 21 days helps you in creating a habit, which you will do it. Further, if you continue to invoke peace for 5 minutes, say for 3 months, then I'm sure that you will never get disturbed in a way that you were getting disturbed before. Even if you are a little upset, this practice of invoking peace for continuously 3 months will help you in becoming peaceful very soon. So that is the first requirement, to invoke peace. Then you can go about doing your work, but morning, afternoon, and evening, you can take another 5 minutes to go inwards, to step back, to just review the day. Now, here comes the aspect of rejection. How? You see, we literally allow the different forces around us to enter into our mind, the thoughts of other people, the emotions of other people, the sensations of other people around us. We keep catching them unconsciously. And many a times, even when we are not upset due to our own reason, we just don't feel nice, we don't feel good, we feel a little restless or unhappy, because we don't know that subconsciously we have absorbed the mood and the vibrations of other people around us. So when you sit 3 times during the day for a few minutes, go inward, you will realize what is wrong. Now, another important thing, when you're not feeling well, your body is warm and feverish, what do? You take up a thermometer and measure whether you have temperature or not. How many of you sitting here are able to gauge where your consciousness is? Are you able to do that? Now, this is very important to practice integral yoga, to know where is your consciousness. From this, I mean, are you into the overthinking mode? Or are you into the feeling of sadness or anger or jealousy or any negative emotion? Or Are you feeling at the physical level lazy, lethargic, tired, no enthusiasm? You must be gradually become aware of where your consciousness primarily is and to pull it down. How? By rejecting thoughts that are not helping in your aspiration, by offering the emotions to the mother. Take it away, mother. I do not want to be sad. I do not want to be angry. I do not want to have anything to do with any negativity because you're with me. And with enthusiasm, motivate your body to work. So when you take these few minutes, you go inwards, you know where you are going, what is happening. And mother says that when you become aware, you are in control. Now, all of you are driving your vehicles, two-wheeler or four-wheeler. Does the vehicle drive you or you drive the vehicle? You drive it. You decide what speed you want. You change the gears. Now, how many of us are able to navigate our life, to control every forces and every events in our life that they may go as we want it to go? I don't think many of us are able to do that. That is a mastery, again a siddhi, which can be achieved by becoming more aware, and awareness brings control, and continuous control brings mastery. So when you know that your thoughts are running in this direction, or your emotions are getting, disturbed, many of them, as a counselor, I get this question that I have mood fluctuations. During the day, there are several times there are mood fluctuations. In the morning, you feel happy and enthusiastic. By afternoon, you're okay. By evening, you're dull. And by night, you're completely gone, tired and frustrated for not accomplishing things that you wanted. So, when you are on the path to realize the divine, your focus is the divine. So over here, the vehicle is our personality, the ego. But then the vehicle should be governed, guided, controlled, mastered by the soul, by the psychic being, and not the ego in the driver's seat. So the whole purpose of yoga, the whole purpose of the spiritual practices is to unseat the ego as the driver and to establish our soul, our psychic being as the sole controller and guide. But before it takes the seat of the driver, it can still shed light. So if the driver is not, driving the vehicle well, the master sitting in the backside can wake up and say, well, take left, take right. So that can be done before the real inhabitant of our being comes in the forefront, it can guide. So in order that the ego is replaced by the soul, the psychic being, it has to be awakened. For that, the 12 powers of the mother give us guidance. And I have chosen this fourth thing, the fourth S, that is simplicity. If you just take this word and contemplate on it, and for that, the next practice, that is concentration. You concentrate on the power, you concentrate on an idea, you concentrate on what you want. Concentration is a first step towards invoking the inner Agni, the tapas, the force. And we know that whenever, a light or anything is focused, then it creates a sort of heat. And concentration helps us in getting clarity and focus. So when you, for example, focus on simplicity, you will realize that many a times we are complicating things. We are going round and round because our mind has got the habit of not accepting things as they are, finding several alternates to a thing, or wanting things to happen in our own way. I can give you a number of examples, but I would want each of you to just think that how can you simplify? There can be, simplicity in food. There can be simplicity in the material things that we want. There can be simplicity in accepting the people around us. Simplicity can be applied in so many different ways. So simplicity will lead you to equanimity, samatha. You don't get disturbed if you are aware that I have to be simple. Okay, this person is like this or like that, or this event had to happen in this way. It's okay. So what happens that we have categorized events and people and things into good, bad, difficult, easy, success, failure. So these are rigid divisions, which makes our life and the life of people around us quite complicated. So if we practice simplicity, we are able to even accept ourselves with our limitations and accept others also. So simplicity makes life easier in the material life as well as the psychological health. So simplicity can be practiced. Now, again, I'll come to concentration. Concentration is one practice that gives you deeper and deeper insight into what you want to do. Anything, if you want to learn something, you concentrate, So concentration gives you the force. That is gathering yourself within. We are scattered. And when we are scattered, we lose energy. Practicing silence, stillness, going inward, observing ourselves, rejecting negative thoughts and emotions, and concentrating on, say, peace, concentrating on any of the 12 powers of the mother will give you insight how you have to apply. Another exercise that the mother has suggested is to lie down in an open space and practice wideness. Just as you would unroll, bedding or a yoga mat, you unroll, so you can stretch yourself, relax, look at the sky, and experience wideness. Practicing this wideness helps you in reducing stress quite a lot. And you forget yourself and you mingle with the outer nature. I think it is very essential that we take out few moments from our life and totally get involved in the nature outside. Mother has also given us the exercise of concentrating on a flower. You take a flower, any, keep it in front of you, quietly observe the color, the fragrance, the texture. And if you close your eyes, you become the flower. So a deeper peace can come when you not only see, but you become one with what you see, whether it's a sky or a flower or the leaf or anything in the nature. And that is more refreshing. It gives a lot of peace. It reduces stress. And there are so many other things that we do to forget our ordinary mundane life and its worries. But most of the people, what they do, they watch a movie or a video or anything to distract. Now, distraction does not give you the energy. It does not give you the peace. It is escapism. So if you truly want to have peace and to de-stress yourself, go out in the nature, experience the wideness, try to become one with it. Another thing that I remember Mother had said once, that we are so much controlled by time. Every morning, at this time we have to do this, at this time our schedule is fixed. And to organize life, we have to have a schedule. There is nothing wrong with that. So she said, I like this advice, that though you follow the time, though you follow the routine, there is an aspect of eternity. So take a few moments and think about eternity. Just forget about time. How this will help? We are always in the rush of fulfilling targets, fulfilling tasks. So when you escape into eternity for a few moments, you are not worried about fulfilling all that and having the burden of it. Now, this gave me an idea that if we are able to escape into eternity, that means that we are ready for that fifth S that I mentioned, surrender. You leave the efforts of all your work to the divine. And then you can enjoy the moments of eternity before you. As such, the task that is before us cannot be fulfilled in one life. We have taken birth earlier. We are right now present. And then in the lives to come, we will be on this journey. So, Sri Aurobindo has also said somewhere that don't take yoga so seriously. Not in these exact words, but you can't, have this burden on your head also about doing the yoga practices. Do it lightly, enjoy, and leave the efforts to the divine. So escape into eternity is one of the things that will help you in not expecting so much from yourself and not expecting so much from others. You do what you can with joy, with ease. Then another thing, most of us, we hurry when doing a work. We want to finish cooking, we want to finish, bathing, we want to finish this, finish that, finish. And then often in that hurry, we feel tired also, and we always feel that the time is less. So yesterday when I was reading Mother's quotations, she said that, for example, you need 30 minutes to get ready and go out of your house. For example, 30 minutes, right? Now, instead of hurrying, what you do, that whatever you do, wash your hands, cook, bathe, adjust your cupboard, take clothes, you only concentrate on the task ahead. When you're hurrying, you're thinking about the next task, not the one you're doing. Because as soon as you're doing one thing, you're thinking, oh, I have to do this, I have to do the next one. So the task at hand is not always perfectly done. So Mother said, try and do this, that you just concentrate, become aware on the task at hand. And she said, I assure you that what you do in 30 minutes, you'll be able to do in 15 minutes. And gradually, every little activity, every task that you do becomes like meditation. In what sense? You get involved with it. She gives an example that the sculptor becomes the image of what he's sculpting. The painter becomes the object that he's painting. You become what you are doing. There is such an involvement. And when you do that with joy and ease, every work that you do will be full of energy. You will not get tired because joy is there. And all the fatigue, all the tiredness, all the burden is in the mind, not the body. The body is the victim of what the mind continuously thinks. If it thinks that, oh, so much has to be done, what a great task, then it gets tired. So whatever work you do, you ultimately have to focus on that alone. So at ease, one activity will be folded into the next. Another very good quotation which will help us to understand the core of action, karma, that Sri Aurobindo teaches us. Because now I'm taking you to the last point, that is surrender, and how we can build ourselves into going into that mode of complete surrender. Regarding action, Sri Aurobindo gives us a very good advice. The advice that he gave to Arjuna on the battlefield of Mahabharata. Because earlier, we all know the state of Arjuna. He was in complete depression. He did not want to fight. And then when Shri Krishna guides him, he is able to do it in the best possible manner. So, in the essays on the Gita, on action, Sri Aurobindo says that action is for self-finding, for self-realization, for self-fulfillment. Now see, if we have to understand what that self is, the real self. So all action that we do outside, whatever that action is, for self-finding, for self-realization, for self-fulfillment, and not only on the apparent fruits of the moment or the future. It's not for what we are going to accomplish by it, is the purpose of action. The purpose of action is only and only to know ourselves better and better. So when we do with this attitude, we do not feel the weight of the years. We become lighter. We do with joy, because then we are able to offer all that we do and surrender. So before, 2 times you can have this practice of surrender. Or if it becomes a habit, it becomes a constant inner approach, inner attitude. You don't have to try. Whatever you have done during the day, this is the beginning that I'm just sharing with you. At night before sleeping, whatever you have done during the day, you offer it, you surrender it. And it has been written by the mother that surrender is the best protection. Now, for example, you have to attend an important meeting, or you have to take an important decision, the family or the workplace, or any other difficulty. Just before doing that, you pray, Mother, I offer this to you. Be with me. And the mantra, Sri Aurobindo Sharanam Mama, or Ma Meera Sharanam Mama, that means that once you have offered, once you have decided to surrender, you have to have that faith that now you are protected. Now nothing can happen to you. And you just see how magically it changes your day-to-day life, your moment-to-moment existence. It takes on a different turn altogether. So surrender is the ultimate inner and outer practice. Inner is the increase of devotion, faith. Outer, a little bit of prayer, sitting in silence for a few minutes, and remembering in all that you do. So the practices in everyday life are very few. In intricate yoga, basically, people initially ask, what do I have to do? So the work is mostly inner. The outer is only aiding you and helping you. You can do meditation while walking. Sri Aurobindo used to walk for 8 hours and used to meditate while walking. So it's not that you only have to meditate while sitting. You can do in any way possible. But all these practices which are focused on a change in the inner attitude towards life helps you much better. So I'll just sum it up before I end it, that invoke peace. To invoke peace, you have to practice silence and stillness. Next, you take time and go inward, concentrate, and then you become conscious of every activity, do it with involvement and peace. You practice wideness, lie down on a flat surface, look at the sky, unroll yourself, widen and widen yourself, visualize yourself as a cloud and just move about, or you are on a raft, the sea. There are so many images that can help you. Take a flower or something in your hand and concentrate. Become one with the consciousness of the flower and you will become peaceful. Have the habit of praying. When you sit in silence, you can introspect your day and reject all that has not helped you. Become aware of any negative thoughts that may enter, disturb your faith, disturb your practice, reject them, offer them. This is like the work of a gardener, A gardener comes and pulls out the grass, the weed, so that the flowers are protected. So when we have to protect our aspiration, when we have to protect the pure flame that rises from our heart, when we want to walk without disturbance, we have to continuously reject negative thoughts, offer all that emotions that does not help us. So that little bit of self-introspection is necessary, and to surrender gradually, progressively, and take every work that comes your way as the work of the divine, so that you do it with love and devotion, do it with responsibility as well, but not burden. There's a difference between them. To become responsible means you have to do it in the best possible way. And that offering, that surrender, and an attitude of simplicity in everything. Whenever your mind goes into overthinking mode, ask yourself, can I simplify it down? And that will give you a kind of equanimity and peace. And that is what I have to share with you today. And I hope you have understood what Mother and Sri Aurobindo tries to tell us. I have done my humble effort, and if there are any questions, I can take them. Thank you.